All right, man, take two on this thing.
I'm ready.
That was much better. We're on literally our second take because Jeff made a Lego of my ego joke, and we cannot start that way.
Hey. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, actually.
I appreciate that. You had the inclination to have another bad joke right there. I saw it in your eyes, and you stopped yourself. You're maturing before our very eyes.
The goalie was in the net and stopped all pucks and balls from going in.
Okay. All right, well, we got Jeff here, we got Chris here, we got JD manning the 64-channel mixer. That is way too much overkill for our little podcast, but...
Fake it till you make it.
Yep, we got it going here. And then we got Jeff's fiance, his Uber driver, because...
she's here for moral support
because Jeff...
and transportational support.
Because Jeff decides to get in a car accident. How did you get in a car accident, Jeff?
I got rear-ended.
That was a great story. Go more in depth here, man.
I was going home from
Tell people. No, the real thing that I want to get to is why did you get hit?
There's an ongoing explanation process within which if someone listens to this, it could be detrimental to a certain thing. So I'm not going to say that.
What?
I'm just saying I feel like I should probably leave out certain details until the full case has been disclosed.
You're worried about the insurance people?
Yeah, a little bit. I have no clue what is going on. I know I've asked you 100 million questions.
Look, I did insurance before I was a pastor for 7 years. Jeff calls me in a panic, tears in his eyes.
Literally. Asking
me what to do. I give Jeff a step-by-step instruction. Foolproof. I probably did...
No dispute of any of this.
I probably did 3 auto accidents a day, 5 days a week for 7 years. So there's very few things in life I'm an expert at. I'm an expert at chicken wings. I'm an expert at WWE wrestling. And I'm an expert at auto insurance. Jeff calls me. I give him detailed instructions down the line what to do. The man does not listen to one freaking thing I tell him. Well, not one thing. And I told her, I said, Jeff, this is how you do it. This is who you call. Don't go through your insurance, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, he'll call me on and say, hey, Jeff, so what's going on with your claim? Have you put it through the other people yet? No, I haven't. I just
I probably mumbled that much.
And that's his tone of voice normally anyways. And I said, Jeff, why don't you put it through, man? You really need to put it through.
I wasn't even a deer in the headlights. I was a deer in all the headlights.
I knew every time I would text you or call you that you were just, whatever I said was just wasted breath at that point. I was like, man, you call and ask for my opinion. It's not like I'm giving you advice that may or may not work out. This is 100%, this is how this will go advice. It would be like you called me and said, hey, Chris, what is 2 + 2? And I said, hey, Jeff, it's 4. And then I'd call you a week later and you said, yeah, I don't know, it might be 3. I don't know. It's just, it could be 3-ish. I don't know. The other guy's telling me it might be 5. I don't know.
I panicked. I have no explanation for it other than that.
So that's a life lesson for everybody. We have a little saying, LTC, listen to Chris. If I give you my LTC guarantee, it's an LTC guarantee. Just listen to that advice. I'm not going to give you like stock advice. I'm not going to give you weight loss advice, health advice.
Chicken wings, wrestling, and car insurance.
Car insurance. That's the 3 things. The trinity of my knowledge is right there, and that should have been something you listened to, but hey, you didn't. So you're stuck without a car right now, but hopefully that situation's getting rectified.
Got a shot at a really nice looking car.
Well, I'm not a car guy. I have a Kia Rio 5. I literally could care less. Don't care what kind of car I drive. Before that, I had
I will say this: we can all fit in my car.
Yeah, no, I look like you never seen one of those clown cars where all the clowns get out of the small car. By myself, I look like that getting out of it. It's like how many people are getting out of the car? That's just one man.
Like the Incredibles, Mr. Incredible. When he got out of his car, it was always broken because he couldn't get out of his car.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
I'm 37.
You telling me Sadie's never seen The Incredibles?
I don't think so. I don't think my daughter, she watches the new age stuff, man. We're Moana people at our house.
Not that old.
we So anyways, I don't care about cars. I had a Hyundai Sonata before that. I've had a litany of just white trash cars. I had a Dodge Aries K car that was like a box on wheels. It was 87 Dodge Aries K, my first car. And I had a PT Cruiser.
Oof.
The PT Cruiser, I'll tell you what, when my dad bought the PT Cruiser,
Did it have a wood stripe on
it did not have the wood
Well,
stripe.
that's okay.
He didn't get. We weren't that fancy. he got this PT Cruiser when they first came out, and he was like so proud of it. Like he thought this was like the coolest car ever.
Thought he was a gangster.
He thought I don't know what he thought he was, but he got this car, and my sister ends up wrecking her car because what she is going to claim is she dropped something and went to get it. What really happened was she was picking her nose and wiped a booger on the side of the seat. That's exactly 100% the truth of what happened.
Now, the side of the driver's seat or the side of the passenger
No,
seat?
the driver's seat, which is gross.
Yeah.
And she ran into a guardrail, totaled her car. So she had to get my car. I had to get the PT Cruiser. And my dad got a 1990 conversion van that we called, his name's Dan, we called it the Dan van, and it smelled like mildew. And so he gets that. Kara gets my old car. I get the PT Cruiser, and that's what I drove around college. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing I had dates. It was amazing that even with the PT Cruiser, I could still pull girls.
It was all about the caboose. You had a big caboose.
I guess that's what it was, man. The worst part about
Back
that,
of the PT Cruiser.
Yes. The worst part about the PT Cruiser was when I got it up here, when I moved back from Florida, driving it around, and one day, all of a sudden, the front of the car starts shaking, and the hood pops up, but a dent. I'm like, what the heck was that? So I open up the hood, and it was bent in half, and the engine had shimmied out of its the things that what is the thing like the braces, the brackets, and popped up and hit the hood. So when I took it to the mechanic, I'm like, yo, he's like, this thing's totaled, and I said, well, what causes this? And he said, I think your engine was embarrassed to be in a PT Cruiser.
That's helpful.
I'm like, yes, thank you. Now what am
It's
I
hard to
supposed
fix that. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's nothing I can do about that, man. So
oh man.
so I've had some junk cars.
Yeah, I talk a big game when it comes to cars. I love talking about cars, but as far as cars that I've had, I can't say much either. My first car was a 1992 Honda Accord, and whenever I was living in Huntsville, my friends named it Townie because they thought it would never leave town again. It did after lots and lots of tires. I had probably the funniest story. I replaced just about anything you could replace on that car, but probably the funniest story was one night I was over at a friend's house and was leaving late. It was probably about 1:30, 2 in the morning, and I was kind of tired. And I get in my car, and I'm like, you know what? Something feels a little off. Like, I don't feel level. I don't really know why. But whatever. Turn it on, throw it in reverse, back up. Boom! Someone had stolen my back right wheel. I had 3 wheels. And I was incredulous. I'm like, who steals the wheel of a 92 Accord? And at this time, I had a completely different colored door on my driver's side than the rest of my car. My car was maroon, and my door was gray. So in a way, I was kind of repping Ohio State down in Alabama. Got the maroon and gray, which I'm sure someone will be mad that I didn't call that scarlet, but it wasn't scarlet. But 3 wheels, and it took me like a week to find a 4th wheel. And man,
that's white trash.
Oh,
totally. There's nothing. There's a hierarchy of white trash things on a car, and a different colored door is way up there.
I was just waiting for someone to smash into my quarter panel, so I had to go get a yellow one or something like that. That didn't happen.
The door being different color, that's white trash. The plastic over your window,
thankfully never had to do that.
That's white trash. It's also white trash when either your window won't go down, so when you go through a drive-through, you have to open it up and stand.
Did that.
Or when you can't unlock from the inside and you have to reach on the outside and pop your door.
Never had to do that.
That's pretty much the white trash triumphant right there of just gross stuff that can happen with a car. But well, hopefully your car situation works out, man. We
Yeah, hopefully.
I there's nothing more frustrating than cars, especially when you don't know how to work on them. So I'm hoping that works out for you.
Yeah.
So that's why his girlfriend is here, not paying a bit of attention, or fiance, excuse me, not paying a bit of attention to us, like girls typically do.
Probably for the best.
So what do we got going? What else we got going on today?
Well, we got a plan. We part of a plan. We got like 12% of a plan here. I figured we'd try a couple of different segments out. This being our first full length episode.
Just no, we don't know it's going to be full length. If this sucks, it'll get cut up into 9 minutes, put on YouTube.
I am planning on this not sucking. So this will be.
We had close to 90 people listen to our.
I
first
was
podcast.
amazed.
I was shocked.
I said 4 1/4.
I was shocked.
I was a little low.
I got some positive feedback.
Like
a lot of people liked it. So it was very weird seeing it go up. I thought, man, we're going to go viral because like the first 20 minutes it had like 40 listens. Then it slowly. What are we at, JD? What are we at right now?
I actually had a couple of
81. Okay.
I had a couple of ambivalent feedbacks from people at work and different things like that. Like I asked them, like, "What'd you think?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's good." So I was probably the reason that we cut it down to 9 minutes the first time.
With 81, we could say slightly under 10,000 listens.
Slightly.
We could just say,
More
we didn't quite hit 10,000 listens, but we're slightly under 10,000 listens.
Literally dozens of people have listened to us.
Well,
Tens of dozens of.
This is the thing.
Scores.
I'm probably 15 of those. So 15 of those views.
15 different devices.
No, it just counts how many times.
Oh, just times.
Yeah, it's just on YouTube. I haven't figured out how to get it on iTunes yet. I think iTunes will be a little.
I know I listened to it a couple times.
iTunes, then the 6 people listen to our podcast. And
yeah,
it's just us.
Still, it's more than 4 1/4. I always just said 4 1/4.
Yeah, so we got some segments this week. If they suck, they'll get cut.
Mm-hmm.
If they're funny, they'll stay. So probably half of them will get cut. But we're gonna try something different here for you, for the literal dozens of people listening. All right, what do you got here first for me, Jeffrey?
I'm thinking we start off with kind of a play on our name. Where gets old fast. So let's talk about what's old and what's gold.
What's old and what's gold? Explain that to people listening.
So if it's old.
And JD mumbled. He said, "Oh my god!" One of the complaints I did get was who was dying in the background of our last podcast. Because as you're talking, all you can hear is JD going. They're like, "Does that guy have emphysema? Is he smoking as he's talking?"
I'm glad we have caring listeners.
Oh, well, I had to pump the volume up. You right over there?
We definitely can.
We had to pump the volume,
He's
and all you
not
could
dying.
hear was JD
He's
just
okay.
hacking along away.
Disclaimer, JD is alive and well right now. He's just laughing a lot. That's what's making him cough.
He's trying to hold it in, but yeah, I mean he was loud in the last one, so hopefully we'll have those audio issues worked out. JD can control himself like a big boy.
Just no croutons this time.
Yeah. So what are we?
What's old and what's gold? What's old is what we don't like. Which I mean, obviously, if you're listening to us, you care 10% about what we think. So old is
you're big into percentages tonight.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know, but old. What we don't like, and gold, what we do.
All right. Well, you start off first.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you what's old. I'm really tired of seeing it on Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff. Is reason articles, reasons. 45 reasons why you should sleep on your side, not your back.
Oh, so like a BuzzFeed list.
Yeah, 78 reasons why you should drink Pepsi while driving to work. Stupid things like, I get it. They're trying to make an argument. Let's make a point. I think this is a good thing. Now let's give you an insane amount of reasons why you're just completely stupid if you don't do this. And that's really annoying because usually if you click on them, I've stopped. I just scroll past them. But if you click on them, 72 of the 73 reasons are bogus. And there's one reason that makes sense that you'll give them credit for. And then the other reasons you're like, why am I still reading?
I don't like the thing on Facebook where it's like, look at this cancer cell. and it's a picture, and it's like really just like a blueberry that's been blown up.
It's just clickbait.
You're
It's
like,
terrible.
ew, do I have that? I'm checking my body. I'm like,
You want to get checked out by a doctor as soon as you see something.
no, I've not been to a doctor in 20 years. I'm not
Yeah.
going. There is something. I'm probably dying as we speak.
I succumbed to peer pressure this year and went to the doctor for like the first time in 5 years. So
That's not manly.
no,
Real men do not go to the doctor
I'm getting-
unless you're bleeding.
Get my man card back. I'm not going to go for another 15 years.
What's
So what's gold? Kind of pandering here, but I'm all about it. Last Wednesday, FC Cincinnati. I mean, they are on top of the world. If you haven't heard anything about them, they were on ESPN. They beat an MLS team, Chicago Fire. FC Cincinnati is currently trying to get into the MLS. They've already beaten 2 MLS teams in this tournament that they're in, the U.S. Open Cup, and they were on national TV doing it. They bled into SportsCenter, so they got talked about on SportsCenter. I mean, everybody was all about this, for lack of a better term, minor league soccer team in Cincinnati, which if you'd have said a couple of years ago that Cincinnati would care about soccer, I'd have thought that was kind of funny.
I don't care about soccer. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But their uniforms are cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like a
Orange
girl,
and
I
blue.
guess, in that. I'm like, oh, the uniforms are nice. That's my team. But
That's how you pick your March Madness tournament.
but the game itself, that was
Oh,
freaking exciting. I was like
like a
running
movie.
around, jumping up and down. When it went to penalty kicks at the end, is that what they're called?
yeah.
Oh, look at me knowing.
Yeah, you got it.
When it went to penalty kicks and he stopped that third one,
Oh,
I jumped up and down,
Right.
like shook the house. My problem is when I was younger, no one played soccer. I mean,
Right.
you played. There was people that played soccer, but I can remember me telling my dad I want to play soccer, and him saying no.
it's a
That was a girl sport.
girl sport. Yeah.
That's the nice version of what was said.
Right.
And I was not allowed to
There's
play.
still people today that say that. But
Yeah, and it's different now. Because my daughter is 3, and she's on a soccer team,
Mhm.
and she has little boys on the soccer team. And these 3-year-olds, the team I've got her on, they fly their coaches in from England, so she is getting
For 3-year-olds?
for 3-year-olds.
Good Lord.
So her coach is like an English guy that teaches from 3 years old all the way up through select ball.
Wow.
It's the same style, same system
Just because the fundamentals then?
from 3 years old on up. It's
Nice.
like intense. It was way too much money, and I don't think she'll play again next year because she would lay down in the middle of the field and say, "This is boring." So
I'll be honest, I thought it was crazy when the Division II college that I went to hired a dude who used to play in the English Premier League as their coach. I was just like, why would he want to coach Division II soccer? The fact that they're flying them in to coach
all summer long, and now
That's-
they
wow.
coach. They do their 3-year-olds. The same guys will go on up. They'll have 6 practices in a day. They'll coach all of them, but
Right.
yeah, it was intense. But like I said, I wasn't allowed to play. I know nothing about it. I'm not.
Well, and when you think about soccer, what is the one thing that is the most frustrating as an American sports fan watching soccer?
Their uniforms are too little. They're skimpy.
Yeah, well, okay. The game can end in a tie, right?
Well, yeah, but NFL can too.
Yeah, but that's after just exhaustive chance.
I don't even
to
care about.
not end in a tie.
I don't even care so much about that. The game. There's not enough scoring, and it
Yeah,
just
there's
gets boring for a while. But like I said, I haven't watched a lot of it. I watched the World Cup. I like to watch the women
Yeah,
play.
that's pretty awesome.
I watched the men's World Cup. I get into that, but just not that into it. But I am happy for FC Cincinnati. I'm pumped that we have a sports team that seems to care about the fans. That the fans are getting behind.
For once.
I mean, I really want to go to a game, because it looks rowdy, it looks fun.
It's a good atmosphere.
The Reds games are not rowdy. The Reds games are you could fall asleep during. The Bengals game is rowdy, but not the good kind of rowdy.
For like all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to fight somebody at every.
Right.
I can't go to the restroom without somebody wanting to fight. It's talk about white trash. There's a big compilation of white trash.
Oh.
At those games, but it seems like they're having fun, and people are liking it. And I want a jersey, but my problem with wearing a jersey, I could wear a football jersey. Not that I do, but I could wear a football jersey and people say, "Oh, I could see him playing football." I'm not wearing a soccer jersey, and anybody going, "This guy knows anything about soccer? He ever played soccer?" You know, he was the ball. That's what I would. You know,
the ball.
I'd have to wear a black and white, old school soccer ball shirt.
I was feeling it tonight. I wore my Bayern Munich German soccer shirt, and you can kind of see it's a little tight around the midsection. So yeah, I'm kind of with you with the whole.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I
No.
I literally thought it was a
It's
Goodwill
true.
shirt that you just happened to throw on tonight and came and rocked. But
I feel good about.
So I'm
myself.
supposed
So
to
what's
do-
old and what's gold with you?
what's old with me? Fireworks
Yeah,
over 100%.
July 5th. It's about time to.
I
put
was
them
over
away.
on March 12th, you know, which is
March 12th.
just a random day, but I don't like fireworks. This is the thing. I can understand, you know, I guess the ancient Chinese invented fireworks. I may have made that up. I thought I saw that somewhere.
Gandalf.
But I can understand when 200 years ago fireworks were going off and everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And there's even a part that is amazing for like the first 30 seconds of a firework display.
Yeah.
But I can see a Tupac hologram rap now. That's amazing. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Lighting some powder on a stick and it exploding, that's just a chemical reaction. That's what it's designed to do. That's like me watching ice freeze.
Right.
Or water freeze and turn into ice. That's the chemical reaction. I know that that's what's going to happen. So I don't like them. It's too much. And they have the fireworks display right across the street from my house. You guys were all there this week, which is fine. I like having everybody over, and they had a big firework. Our community had a big fireworks display, and it was real nice. And then on the 4th of July, you know, everybody and their mom is off lighting off fireworks.
Yeah.
Which I don't care, except for my dog gets massive fear diarrhea
Oh no.
every time there's fireworks.
Poor bear.
And he poops all over the house. It keeps my daughter awake. So I'm trying not to be the grumpy old man that
Right.
complains about fireworks. But it was like midnight, and I caught myself going, "This is ridiculous." You know, I wanted to put my head out the window and be like, "Do you have any idea what time it is?" You know, and I lived in a Hispanic neighborhood where every holiday was pots and pans and fireworks. So I should be used to it, but I don't know, man. I'm just getting grumpier. So that's old with me.
Sure.
I'm trying to think. I'm so grumpy that it's hard for me to figure out
Did you just have two? What's old?
what is gold with me. You know, I'll be sentimental. What's gold with me is being a parent right now.
Okay.
Man, I never wanted a kid. And then we found out my wife was pregnant, and it has been the greatest thing. But I will say I'm a little worried
Uh-oh.
that I'm raising a dodo.
Raising a dodo.
Yes. I do this thing when I put her to bed where in order to get her to go to bed, I do like a hand puppet. Just my hand. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not on the wall. It's not a shadow puppet. It's literally just a hand puppet. And I talk to her with it. And it's a wolf. You know, just make the wolf with your hands. That's what it is.
Right.
And she named it Balto after the movie Balto.
Yeah, that's a good old movie.
So she always talks about, can I give Balto a kiss? So I'm like, all right, you know. Well, tonight, she's like, Daddy, lay down here. I want to talk to Balto. So I get out, and I'm doing, hey, Sadie, I'm Balto, you know, talking to her. And our dog is
Mr.
dying.
Ed.
And she goes, Daddy, what happens when Balto dies? Do we get a new Balto? I'm thinking, it's my hand. Like, how can you not? I know you're only 3, but how are you not comprehending? This is just a hand.
Well, with the advances in medical technology, you might be able to get a prosthetic.
I guess, but I'm thinking, if my hand dies, I'm dead. And I'm telling her, I'm like, baby, you know this is just Daddy's hand, don't you? And she goes, I know, Dad, I just pretended. And I said,
Oh.
okay, that's fine. So we let it down,
She's
and-
preparing for pretend death.
I guess. So I have to sleep with, or let her fall asleep with my hand in a wolf shape on the side of her face. So I'm like, all right, I got to go to bed. Or, you know, I got to go down. You're about to sleep here, whatever. And she goes, Balto's my best friend. And I
man.
thought, man, what a sad life she has when her dad's hand puppet is her best friend. Like, I'm doing something wrong here.
I can't.
Like, I called my wife. I was like, we need to find some special classes or something here. 'cause
Oh my goodness.
things are not comprehending. So that's my goal is being a parent, but I've obviously jacked it up somewhere along the way.
Maybe she's worried. Talking about the death of Balto, maybe she's worried. Making that wolf thing, you're going to get carpal tunnel, and then you won't be able to do it.
Well, she knows Daddy has carpal tunnel.
Oh yeah.
I have a long litany of problems that started after 30. And so she'll bring me, like a little screwdriver to do something, unscrew something for and put batteries in. And there's times I can't, and I'll say, Daddy's carpal tunnel is flaring up, or Daddy's lower back pain.
Is that what happens at 30? Because I'm getting close to that.
Oh, your whole body just hates you at that point. It shuts down. Now I'm not in the greatest physical condition, but at 30 I was in a lot better shape. And it just dominates. You'll wake up and say, "Why does this hurt?" The other night I thought I had kidney stones. I don't know if I do have kidney stones, but it was 2 a.m. All I'm trying to do is pee at 2 a.m, and I went down to a knee. My back hurt so bad.
You T-bowed?
Yeah, I T-bowed. And I'm thinking, God, just kill me now. What is this? And I pee. I get back up. I crawl into bed, and I'm trying to be loud enough to wake my wife up, but not really wake. I don't want to just grab her and say, wake up, because then she'll make me go to the hospital.
Right.
And I'm just like, ugh. She's not waking up. She's got headphones in because I snore.
Right.
And it eventually went away. What flares up a little bit again today, and I'm thinking, man, my whole body is just rebelling against me.
Whatever you're doing.
Whatever I do, even if it's just sitting, something will end up hurting. My eye will twitch. This is something that I never had in my 20s. I have hemorrhoids.
Ooh.
Which is disgusting, and I know there's a lady present.
That was actually a segment I was going to... No, I'm playing.
Was hemorrhoids. It's like every old man ailment that you can get, like you'll just eventually start getting them. I haven't gotten ear hair, I haven't gotten nose hair, I haven't gotten any of that, but I've gotten all the other old man stuff, and it sucks.
I thought I had at least 20 years before this, but all right.
No, you're going to fall apart. So that's what else is old. My body. My body is old. Some bodies are a wonderland. My body is a disgusting wasteland.
So Derek Carr just signed the richest contract in NFL history. I think it was last Tuesday or something like that. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you think, I mean, obviously we're not experts or anything like that, but just as a casual fan, that none of us are Raiders fans here or something like that, but as you've watched him and maybe even, wanted him on your fantasy football team, is he worth the most richest contract?
No, he's not the best quarterback, but he fell into the market. The thing that I don't care about any of that. Like, I think anybody should be able to make as much money. Like LeBron said about Steph Curry the other day, he should make $400 million a year or $400 million. I don't care about any of that. The thing that impressed me the most was that he said one of the first things he was going to do was tithe off of it.
Yeah.
Now,
you don't hear that too much.
No, this is my thing as a pastor. I don't even need a Derek Carr. What is his brother that played?
David Carr.
David Carr.
Yeah, he had a pretty good contract too.
I'll take his contract tithe money. I'll take David Klingler's contract money. Anybody that wants to come tithe to the church, I don't care if Derek Carr walked in and tithed to this church, I would name a whole wing of the church after him.
Yeah.
The Derek Carr Auditorium, brought to you by the David Carr Worship Band. I'd wear a David Carr jersey. I mean,
my dad has one.
A David Carr jersey?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's David or Derek. I don't even care. Just the tithe aspect is crazy because now he's not going to get all $125 million because I think only
taxes
35 of it's guaranteed, so he'll probably play 2 years of it out, and then they'll renegotiate. But whatever. If the church walks away with $6 or $7 million, that's nuts.
But in theory, just entertain this theory for 2 seconds. If our man who counts our tithes sees a $3.5 million check in there,
I'm asking for a raise tomorrow.
Is he interrupting service to talk about this, or do you think he would, kind of keep it cool till?
I think we would hear him. I think we would hear him scream.
$3.5 million.
I think we would hear him. He might cuss. I don't know. I think we would hear him, and or we'd have to go revive him.
Yeah.
But I would see that and I'd say I need a raise. At least can we get a car out of this situation? Something here.
Better than a Kia Rio 5.
Yeah, give me the Kia Rio 6, man. I'm down for it. But the problem with these things, and I don't know where Derek Carr goes to church, but so a lot of these athletes that do tithe or do get a lot of money and they give it away, they go to these mega churches already who don't need the money.
Right.
And it's just like the rich get richer.
Yeah.
It's like I got a really good-looking athletic friend in high school, and everything good always happened to him, and you couldn't be excited for him because you're just like, your life is already good.
Right.
Stop. Like, just stop. God, give him something bad. Give him a flat tire. I don't want him to get hurt.
But he had his cake, and he gets to eat it too, and then he gets a piece of pie afterward.
If he got a flat tire, I promise the owner of a car lot would drive by and be like, well, rather than change your flat tire, why don't I just give you this brand new truck here? That's how his life would go. And I would be so mad. And I'd be like, man, just stop with getting everything.
Yeah.
So that's how these churches operate. They just get the good stuff, and some of us are just got to plug along. Us less attractives.
So do you think there should be like a cap? Like, okay, you know what? You tithe too much. I know a church down here, they could really use that tithe. You guys go here now.
No, because truthfully, if we got $3.5 million, I trust us to spend the money more than I trust another church.
Sure.
So, and that's the non-funny answer. I trust our leadership to make right decisions that will impact the greatest amount of people. We have a feeding center in Africa and all this stuff. So, no, man, if you win the lottery, I know there's pastors that say, oh, if they win the lottery, I'm not taking that sin money. Bring it to our church. You can make it out to me. I'll make sure it gets in there. Any kind of money other than like drug sales or prostitution, I'll take it. Even loan sharking out, whatever.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, we'll get there. But so yeah, man, it's crazy that he makes that much money. The numbers that are going around for these athletes right now
just
are mind numbing.
through the roof. And like when
Swaggy P got paid today,
$5.5 million.
he's horrible.
He's awful, and he's going to a team that passes, and he doesn't pass.
He ain't going to see the floor.
Nah, he'll play like 5 minutes a game. But hey, he's getting $5 million, and he's going to get a ring because who else is?
But he's saddled with the name Swaggy P.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Do you think he's proud of that name?
I think if you're given a nickname,
Was he given or did he give it himself? Because that sounds like a self-given nickname.
I tell you what, he probably gave it himself. Anybody that throws a layup over the backboard gives themselves their own.
Or
nickname.
shoots a three-pointer and turns around before it goes in.
Yeah.
And swaggy is such like a 2012 term.
Got that swag.
It's like when it was kind of killed when Justin Bieber in one of the songs all of a sudden just goes swag, 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 swag. Not that I'm a huge Bieber fan. I am. But
no, I don't.
But it was just kind of killed, and he's got a rocket. It's kind of like if your nickname was "You Go Girl." It's like so 90s, which is something my mom still says.
You go, girl.
My mom will go, "You go, girl." I'm like, Mom, nobody says that.
Oh, yeah.
Or she'll say, for some reason, women in their 50s go through a phase where they're all like from the hood. And so they'll call each other like, "Hey, girlfriend." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're a 55-year-old woman. Why are you calling somebody girlfriend?" They all do that, man. My wife's mom does the same. We were just talking about that the other day. They all have this thing where they just talk in weird old lady language.
Oh boy,
can't take it. So yeah, that's
self-given. Can you believe at one point he and JaVale McGee were on the same team in Washington?
That's horrible.
The man who dunked on his own basket and the man who threw a layup over a basket and shot a three-pointer, turned around before he made it, and he totally missed it. I mean,
I lost a game in high school from one of our guys shooting on our own basket.
Really?
Fat Tom. That was what his nickname was. He was fat. And I was on that team, so if somebody else's nickname is fat, he was fat. And
See, now that's another nickname. It's like he was not happy about that, was he?
I don't even know. Our coach would say, Tom, Fat Tom. Our coach he used to play for UC. He'd say, Fat Tom, if that ball was a cheeseburger, you would have caught it. And Tom would be like, okay, coach.
Thanks, coach.
He's just like,
you know.
But our team was all hefty. It was all offensive linemen. So being called fat, like, it did not faze us. We were like,
it was almost a badge of honor at that
yeah. And then when my dad became the coach, he coached us the next year, and we got even fatter because we brought some of the freshmen up into our fatness, and we would scrimmage fat guys versus skinny guys.
Yeah.
And so that's how, instead of shirts and skins, it was fat guys, skinny guys. Fat guys always won because it was his starters.
Right.
Like in a half court setting, you're not beating us.
Right.
But the minute you start fast breaking, you just see 5 guys turn and look and be like, I'm not chasing that. They can have that layup.
At that point, you're weighing, you're like, you know what? They're just going to get a layup if we let them go instead of shooting a three-pointer. So we're actually saving a point.
Yeah, then it was like, man, who's going to walk down to the other side to inbound the ball? We're playing paper, rock, scissors, not it, So, but yeah, he shot on the wrong hoop. My high school basketball career was fantastic. Not because I was a good player, but because the worst things happened. We had I went to a Christian school where we couldn't have warm-up music.
Oh, yeah.
Even like Christian rock we couldn't have.
Oof.
And so we'd go to these other schools, and it was the 90s, so every school was playing, y'all ready for this? Boop, 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 boop. We couldn't have that.
So you're more psyched up to play someone else's place.
Yeah, we were always pumped playing somewhere else. We'd go out and,
Be half
come
asleep
on, ride the train. We're doing layup line. Well, we get to our school and we asked for warm-up music. And I'll never forget. It's right around Christmas time because it's a holiday tournament.
Yeah.
And we asked for it. And they're like, and here come the Eagles. And I swear on my life, they hit play, and it was Christmas music. And I'm going through the layup line to Silver Bells, Silver Bells, it's Christmas time in the city. And we're looking around, so
Don't tell me they had Oh Holy Night on there.
Oh, they had it all. Rocking around the Christmas. No, turn that one off. That one's got a beat.
Or was it? No, not Oh Holy. It's Silent Night.
Yeah.
Silent Night. Yeah.
So
Put
we
you to sleep
complain
while
about
you're
it. So we're like, that's humiliating.
Right.
So the next week, they are going to play some music. And we don't ever get to hear what any of this is. And they're like, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. Here come the Eagles. And it's like a Southern gospel version of Amazing Grace. It's like, Amazing Grace, 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 how sweet the sound. And I'm like, golly, this is humiliating.
Can't win.
So we were finally like, quit playing Christian music. Just find some regular music. It doesn't have to have words. Like, just play something.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay. So the third week comes, and we're like, what are they going to play? At this point, we're all humiliated to take the floor.
Right.
It's like homecoming. They have a big banner. One of those paper banners that
You
we're going to
run
through.
through,
Yeah. They go, ladies and gentlemen, here come the Eagles. And nothing. And we're like, okay, well, good. Maybe they're not going to play anything. We break the banner, and I hear the circus march. And it was like, we're looking around to see if somebody's on stilts, if the referees were getting out of a clown car.
At that point, you're turning around and walking back to the locker room.
it
You're
was
like, nope, we're good.
And it's like, we're not going to win these games. We were like 2-19 on
You're
varsity.
psyched out before the game even starts.
But it's humiliating before we even get on the floor. We didn't have a wood court. It was rubber.
Yeah.
And one of the guys from one of the public schools that we were playing against comes in, and he's like 6'6", big athletic guy, and he's like, are we playing on Tupperware? And I was like, oh, just kill me now, God. This guy's going to dunk all over us.
Tupperware.
So that's my high school basketball career, man.
That feels like, I can relate to that. I went to a Christian school during junior high when I played basketball.
You went to an Amish Christian school, too.
Yeah.
You guys were even stricter than us.
Well, and they let us have warm-up music, but it was like polyphonic versions of the MLB on CBS, NBA on TNT, like all of the theme songs for the sports shows. and it was like a polyphonic version of it that they play on it. And so like it got so bad that like you got used to it and you're like, whatever, this is what we're getting. And so whenever NFL on Fox came on, you like started getting psyched up to a polyphonic version of that, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Come on.
It's so ghetto because now like that same school, the church that is attached to it is like full on rock covers during the service, like during the church service.
Right.
Which we literally don't care at this church, but
Yeah.
it's like that was only, well, I was going to say 10 years ago. I graduated in 99, so it was 17 years ago. But 17 years ago, it went from, we couldn't even play Christian rock. It was literally the devil.
Yeah.
The devil was going to come and eat all of our souls.
To Fozzie's at the church service
Yeah,
on Sunday.
it's like, what is going on? Ozzy Osbourne's up there, It's crazy how things change, but
we're opening up worship today with Bark at the Moon.
yeah, it was so bad, man. It was humiliating. What else you got on there? I got like 15 more minutes in me.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, my phone locked itself.
And
I'm unlocking my phone.
I think rather than doing just long form, I think we'll do like highlights, like in bits. I think it'll work better.
Sure. No, I'm with you on that one. Let's say, okay, one last segment, and the rest of them was just kind of topic ideas. This one we're going to call, very hot button topic, so get ready for this, all you snowflakes out there. Fake news. Today's fake news, but it's not like the president says. We're not talking about anything CNN said. More so, if I find a conspiracy theory or something that I find hilarious, like this one, that's what's going to be our fake news for the podcast. And this one in particular, it's a special brand of crazy. Apparently, according to a guest on the Alex Jones radio show sometime last week, it was kind of went viral just a little bit, just because people listen to Alex Jones. He was a former CIA agent. His name was Robert David Steele. And
Robert David Steele.
Yeah, I know I said that weird.
Like that?
And Robert David Steele. Anyway, he was on there, and he says that for the past 20 years, NASA has been kidnapping children, taking them to Mars, and forcing them to do slave labor on Mars for 20 years.
What's scary about this is that he was in the CIA. So he had security clearance.
Right.
Supposedly one of the brightest that our country has to offer.
And they gave him security clearance.
And he is thinking that we're kidnapping children and taking them to Mars.
Which, the best thing about this...
did Alex Jones stop him from saying this?
No, in fact, he indulged it. He continued it. He was just like, well, what are the ramifications? Like, give me some more details.
Who is listening to Alex Jones?
Not
Dodos.
Me. Yeah,
Dodos are listening to Alex Jones.
Dodos. They might like Balto. But
yes. I would be less concerned if she believes in Balto the rest of her life than if she starts listening to Alex Jones.
Wholeheartedly. There was another Babylon Bee article that talked about Alex Jones as the press secretary for the White House now, but that's neither here nor there.
He screams in his blood pressure. My favorite thing is when he cusses up somebody.
Right.
Up and down, and then says, "Oh, I can't say that. I'm a Christian." He's like, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that. I'm a Christian. I'm a God-fearing man.
Lord, strike me dead if I offended anybody.
But he would just cuss someone a blue streak. Who is what? This is a problem. I feel like it's old people.
Yeah.
That are.
It's people who have just gotten to the point where they just think everything is bad.
Just listening for craziness. And if you throw the name Obama in there, then it definitely is true.
Oh, it's awful.
Obama himself is taking children to Mars, and hiding his birth certificate up there.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's performing a Ramadan religious ceremony for the Muslims.
It's pretty strong on Mars when you do the Ramadan on Mars.
I don't understand how you can get sucked into. Now, I think
the thought of that, I mean, I don't care. Obviously he says former CIA agent. Who knows if he's right? I mean, one thing everybody knows about CIA agents is they love to talk about their work. But what normal person, and I use that term lightly because no one knows what that means anymore, thinks that sort of thing. They're like, anybody, like, I get it. If you think something's evil, you want to make up something that makes it sound even more evil and make you sound correct. But really? Kidnapping people? And the funniest part of this was someone did actual research on it. NASA's budget right now is $18 billion, according to the person that did this research. Theoretically, it would take $16 billion of that to send 4 people to Mars. So they've got a pretty strong slave
But
labor
the
force up
Rothschilds
there.
and the World Bank supplies it's the NWO. It's all gobbledygook, man.
Yeah.
And the problem is everything right now. It's like you don't know what to trust, like
Exactly.
what news source. I hate when people put on Facebook something that is like obviously false.
Right.
Like,
it's sensational to the point that you're like, there's no way.
It's like when they'll take a picture of Obama with like his left hand over his heart. He's like, I'm now anti-American. It's like, no, you're just looking at the wrong angle.
Right.
They put this stuff up.
put
and
it in a
it's
mirror.
always like somebody's aunt. And I'm like, just get this person off of Facebook.
Yeah.
Or do some research.
Absolutely.
But everybody, you just want to make the other person look as bad as you can.
And even
except for our current president, he don't care. He's just going to make himself look.
He's really good at being his own enemy. I mean, I'm with you there because it's like,
what kind of grown man? You're 70-something years old. Tweets out a picture of you beating up the CNN head. Like, you're a grown up. Like, what are you doing? You're the president. When I do something like, I've been known to fight with somebody on Twitter.
Yeah.
I fight on Twitter fairly frequently. I don't come for anybody, but right now it's been a bunch of alt-right white supremacists coming for me.
Right.
And I'll give it back to them. And then the first thing they always do is they say, thanks, Pastor, in quotation marks, Price. I'm like, man, just take your L. You're not, I'm sorry. I'm more quick-witted than you. I will destroy you. And then I'll feel bad later because I am a pastor. But
the president should
if
not
you
be picking fights.
not the
on
president, and then retweeting it from the official presidential Twitter account. So it has to be archived in the Library of Congress forever.
Right.
So 50 years from now,
they're gonna get back, read
my
these, and be like,
grandkids
"This
are
is
going to be
what
like,
we,
what? What is he wrestling for?"
Right.
And it was a different time, man.
I'll say this: I have no idea how CNN responded or anything like that because as soon as that happened, I saw Vince McMahon Googling Twitter account whenever he tweeted out, "Am I CNN?"
Yeah.
And I just laughed and I forgot about the rest of it.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, that was perfect time.
It's all
It was
nuts,
great.
man. Politics is all crazy. We won't be super political on this show.
Right. Yeah.
But that has been hilarious to see, just how little he cares.
Right. He just keeps running.
Most people care. Like, I care what people think somewhat.
Right.
He just doesn't care. And I guess that's what happens when you're a billionaire. Like, you just have
You just do what you want.
you just
and
have
don't care.
that the heck with you money,
Well, and he's definitely got no reason to stop because people voted him president with him not caring. And obviously we don't want to get on a soapbox about all that, but it's one of them things. It's like he gets up in the morning every day, he tweets about somebody, he gets 1 million retweets, he gets 1 million responses from people who are trying to tell him to stop, some less logically than others, in less logical ways, but he doesn't stop. He just keeps on going.
he's like Diddy, can't stop, won't stop, man.
Can't
He's
stop,
just-
won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Everything should be like Diddy.
Yeah. Oh,
If everybody was just more like Diddy, life would be so much better.
what would Diddy do?
WWDD.
WWDD.
Double W's, double D's. Wait, that sounds weird.
On that note, let's move on.
What else we got?
I was going to talk about. I guess there's not much to talk about with the Reds. I love them.
Get to the Ten Commandments thing, and then
Oh yeah, and that one that was pretty. So an interesting bit of news down in, where was this? Arkansas, the state capital of Arkansas. They posted a statue, which was 6,000 pounds of granite of the Ten Commandments outside the Capitol building. And it didn't last 24 hours because a feller by the name of Michael Reed.
Whoa, feller.
I say feller.
Whoa, keep going. This feller
I said-
was doing his war
I say things.
in the creek.
Guy, feller, I just like to mix it up. Michael Reed ran into 6,000 pounds of granite with his Dodge Dart. Knocked it over. I mean, obviously he did.
He knocked the Dodge Dart over, or the Ten Commandments?
No, he knocked the Ten Commandments over.
Do they still make Dodge Darts?
They started a couple years ago. They brought it back. It looks nothing like the original. Don't get excited. It looks more like a Toyota Corolla with a Dodge logo on it. But so he knocks him over. The craziest part about it was it's not the first time he's done this. He did this in Oklahoma City back in 2014. He knocked over a bigger statue. I think I don't know. It couldn't have been marble. You can't knock marble over, can you?
I don't know.
But it was a bigger statue.
I'm not a gemologist.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Gemology. Sounds like Jumanji. But he knocks over the statue, and when they ask him why he did it, he said he was listening to the voices in his head, and Satan told him to do it. This time, the second time down here in Arkansas, he didn't say anything like that. But the best part about the whole story, and this kind of goes back to my whole car wreck thing, maybe I should get a Dodge Dart. The Dodge Dart only suffered minor damage. They said it's going to be fine.
What? How long after he dies is he just burning completely in hell? Like, I don't even think, when I don't get into theology, but after you die, there could be like a second where you're talking to God, and God is like, you're before the throne, and He said, depart from me, I don't know you, and you go. God's not even going to mess with that. Like he's going to close His eyes, and He's going, oh my gosh, why am I burning?
Right.
Like if you go immediately and hit, I could see hitting 10 commandments. We've all been there,
right.
But 2 is just excessive.
And
you're just the 11th commandment is don't knock over these 10 commandments.
Don't knock over the 10. And they said that in the news article that the statue was several feet past like the parking lot. So it's not as if he like veered off the parking lot and ran into it. He was like on a straight dead line, intent to hit.
Yeah, that's
what I want to know is what sort of network of people does he have on his phone or whatever to figure out where these statues get erected? Because if he goes from Oklahoma to Arkansas or wherever he lives in between there to knock over statues, is he getting email updates about this?
Well, there's this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to.
But seriously, you're going to sit on the internet all day like
where
they put up statues
Everybody,
today.
let's just take it down a notch. There's this huge machine called Google. I don't know if you heard it. And you can set Google alerts.
Yeah.
And they'll go right to your inbox.
But, all right, what do you hate the most?
You.
Do you Google me on a daily basis?
Yes. How to kill Jeff.
That's not hard.
What do I hate the most? I don't know, but I'm also not a psychopath. I don't listen to voices of Satan in my head either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not dealing with somebody that's got all his mental faculties there. He does have his faculties enough to make it from Oklahoma to Alabama or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that where it was, Alabama or Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Yeah,
there's nothing in Arkansas either. Like, I don't even know.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Home of Walmart.
Well, there's that in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Bill
and
Clinton.
Ohio and...
Yeah, but the home of Walmart's in Arkansas.
Put state here. Yeah,
not just like a random Walmart.
Do they sell better stuff at that Walmart?
Like the headquarters. I'm not talking about the first ever Walmart.
But are you going to go see the headquarters of Walmart?
If you're white trash, you might. I don't know. That's like
Walmart.
Can you think of a more white trash vacation than going to
Come on, kids. We're going to go see the headquarters of Walmart.
Headquarters of Walmart. Here's where they don't make this crap. Well, I guess Walmart's not all American made, is it? I know they had this thing. There's no way it's all American made. They sell $4 T-shirts. That ain't American made.
No.
There's kid is making that in a sweatshop somewhere. Let's be honest. But
South Korea or something.
Where else would be a white trash vacation? That's white trash.
I mean, I love Gatlinburg, but it's up there.
Gatlinburg can be white trash.
Yeah.
Now, when we go,
Let's go play 9 different types of putt-putt.
putt, let's go see a wax museum where nobody looks like the person.
This is a replica of the wax in the original wax museum of this person.
Let's go to the Hollywood Car Museum where it's just all like scale model cars of cars that
These are
were
the
in
Hot
movies.
Wheels that we made out of movie cars.
So, the strip in Gatlinburg is kind of ghetto. They've got ninja stores.
And there are 9 other places where you can get old-timey photos.
Yeah, old-timey photos. Ninja stars, which I buy every time I go. I buy some kind of weapon.
Ninja place. Oh,
Airbrush T-shirts.
Yes.
Like that's the only place. Them in amusement parks are
Kiosks in the mall become huge stores in Gatlinburg.
Yeah. Where else on earth do you see airbrush T-shirts? Myrtle Beach.
They do have a dozen as seen on TV. Yeah, Myrtle Beach is
Myrtle Beach will do that.
Myrtle Beach is Gatlinburg on the beach.
Yeah, it's Ocean Gatlinburg.
Ocean Gatlinburg. Ocean City Gatlinburg.
There's but yeah, Gatlinburg can be white trash, but there's some fun stuff. I mean,
Oh no, yeah, and I'm
I
not,
like going to the mountains. And,
Yeah, I'm
you know,
definitely not saying that. I don't go to Gatlinburg. I love Gatlinburg.
I like going.
There's definitely some white trash.
My wife and I, we go probably twice a year, and I always get one with a hot tub, and starting at like 6 a.m, I sit in the hot tub all day, and then she'll eventually say, "Let's go walk the strip," or she's got family down there, so we'll go see her family or whatever.
The movie theater was nice in the last one. Or wait, that was Hocking Hills. Never mind.
We didn't see a movie in Hocking Hills, did we?
No, but we had that theater room.
Oh, the theater room. Yeah, we get cabins. No, our cabin in Gatlinburg was sick.
Yeah,
That was really. I mean,
Yeah.
both cabins we've had so far have been really nice, but
I agree.
yeah. So we got Walmart, we got Gatlinburg, Myrtle Beach can be white trash, but it can be nice. Trying to think where, not just cities though. There's
the headquarters of. Nah, no one's going to the headquarters of Hardee's.
Hardee's.
Yeah,
Is there even a Hardee's around anymore?
not around here. They're all over the South, though.
I could kill some Hardee's right now.
No.
Hardee's and Bojangles. I love Bojangles.
I get heartburn from salad at Hardee's.
Why are you getting a salad at Hardee's?
I'm just saying.
Get a thick burger, man.
I do, but if I got a
I've
salad
never
at
seen you
Hardee's-
order a salad anywhere.
I have.
I think your body rejects salad. That's why you're getting
Probably
That's
what
why
it
you're
is.
getting heartburn. It's not.
That's why at 30 I'm going to have all these problems because I don't eat healthy and I don't exercise.
It says,
and
"What is this strange foreign being in my body? It's green and leafy. Why are you feeding me this?"
It has a reaction like Alien.
Yeah, it's kale. What is this? No,
Hey, kale's a touchy subject.
you like kale?
No.
Well, I don't know anybody that likes kale.
No.
Girls
Golly.
pretend to like kale. Like that's what they're like. Oh my gosh, I want a kale smoothie. No, you don't want a kale smoothie. You want an Oreo smoothie. That's what you want.
Everybody wants that.
Girls pretend to like kale.
I want kale.
They pretend to
No,
like
I
a lot of foods that. Oh my gosh, I really want some sweet potato fries. You don't want sweet potato fries. You want French fries.
Kale is a government-run project to kill everyone.
Okay, Alex Jones. They're putting kale on Mars.
Putting kale on.
The
No,
child
they're getting kale back from
the
the
children
child labor
are-
camp
are-
at Mars.
are farming kale on Mars.
I think it was just someone who was bored of selling lettuce and they're like, let's just change the name. Kale.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
what it is.
It's disgusting, and nobody eats that. Nobody eats or nobody wants quinoa instead of rice.
or quinoa.
Can I have some quinoa? No, I want some
Quinoa.
rice. I want some fried rice, not
Yeah,
quinoa.
with eggs.
Give me some fried rice. All right, man.
Pork.
It is about 300 degrees in here.
It really is getting warm.
I'm about to pass out, and I'm gonna go try to go home and say hey to my wife.
This has been another fun attempt.
Yeah, this will have to be cut up probably. I think there's probably, if 9 minutes was good in the last one, there's probably 12 in this one.
12 and a half.
So maybe we'll get 12 and a half good
I'm
minutes
being optimistic. 12 and a half.
out of it. And next week we're going to try to have a soccer guy on from a soccer podcast to talk about.
After that glowing.
Yeah, I'm going to rip him too.
Yeah.
And I used to coach basketball with him, so he can
Well, there's that.
he can explain what kind of coach I was, and we can talk about our claim to fame was coaching with Rashad Jennings from Dancing with the Stars' brother.
There you go.
So
Not the
really-
New York Giants Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, not the celebrity either. We have the celebrity's brother.
Not
so
the Super Bowl winning running back, the Dancing with the Stars champion.
we're before we go. I don't
It's the
think he won a
same
Super
person.
Bowl.
Yeah, he was on the team that won the Super Bowl, wasn't he? Or was that Brandon Jacobs?
He didn't win. No, he didn't win one.
They had the same type of running back.
Anyways,
Anyway,
we're going to have some interviews in the next couple weeks. And other than that, we're out.
See you.